episode of, you guessed it, the place and the podcast where if we had a preference for parties, it would be none. My name's Josh. I'm here today with good buddy Adam.
Yes.
And today we're going to discuss a little thing called the Gini Coefficient. And if you don't know what that is, well, prepare to be educated and possibly leave stupider than you came. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Maybe smarter. I don't know. Maybe if you're real dumb, you might come out smarter. I don't know. Anyways, if you want to follow us on social media, go to Game Rage Magazine on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Game Rage Mag on Twitter. Follow Adam at All Gas No Trash Official on Instagram, YouTube. Additionally, you can follow him on substack.com/at All Gas No Trash Official. And check out his latest article that he just did, which is a fucking masterpiece of fucking literary autism to its highest degree. And this is a compliment. Anyways, yeah. So go do that. Go check it out. Gini Coefficient. Okay, so the Gini Coefficient is essentially this formula that was created, and it was created by a statistician, an Italian statistician called Corrado Gini. That's why it's called the Gini Coefficient, okay? His last name. And this thing essentially says there's a scale. It's from 0 to 1, and it's about income inequality. 0 being perfect income equality. 1 being perfect income inequality.
Oh, holy shit. Okay.
So it's just 0 and 1, and the scale in between is point whatever, right? It's like 0.1, 0.45. So throughout, this guy invented this in 1912. And so...
Good Lord.
Yeah, so statisticians and people, and one of the reasons why he was interested was in doing this was he combined a bunch of different, factors to essentially gauge and measure and put a, number on what would be, I guess you could call like I said, income inequality or wealth inequality throughout the world. And so they do this update every few years. And what's fucking crazy is there's different places that do it, and there's really not you can't really trust any of them, honestly, for the most part, because it's everybody agrees that Africa is the worst, all right? They all agree that Africa has the worst income inequality.
All right, hold up. So how does this work then? So do they take every continent and give an approximation?
It's every country. It's down to the country.
Oh, shit.
They measure, if you can see the math.
Oh, it's a summation.
It's a math problem. It's
a sum of probably every country. And then whatever that fucking thing on the bottom is.
Yeah, it's all this. There's some symbols on here that I have no fucking idea what they mean because I'm retarded, but that's whatever. So, and this is all a math-based equation.
Jesus.
It's insane. I can't even begin to describe all the shit. 'Cause there's so many fucking different maths on here. But needless to say, a fucking really smart dude fucking created this. And they've been using it to measure income inequality throughout the years. And so one of the things that originally, as I was reading about, that he wanted to do this was because he kind of wanted to see, because he was curious to see historically what was the point at which most countries ended up having a violent revolution due to wealth inequality.
Oh man. So as you approach 1, then you're more likely to there's a threshold that exists.
So I couldn't really find a whole shit ton of data, but the one that always kept coming up was the French Revolution, right? Which I would say is probably the most famous for being the "let them eat cake" line comes from that, right?
Yeah.
And so the index, for that, when that happened, at the point at which that happened in history, and the French Revolution took place, their number was only 0.52. 0.52. It wasn't even, it was halfway up the scale. And people started fucking eating people, started killing the rich.
Dude, that sounds about right for what happened with retirement age being pushed up. That is just enough to piss people off.
Yeah.
That it would tip in the favor of the more economically prosperous, I suppose.
Yeah. So, but what's crazy is if you look at, and this is where it gets very kind of muddy because this is like the world number, right? And because as you get countries that like come lower down, it like fucking screws the scale. But it's like it's like Switzerland, right? Would be one that's like very low on the scale. Okay, compared to a country like the United States, ours is like, I think we're at right now, I think we're at like 0.49 is what we're at right now in 2024. And so the overall world one has been like steadily increasing from like 1820 all the way, and they have 2005 as like the last one here, at least on Wikipedia, and it started to come down in 2005. But man, like there were some times, this is globally, that it was over that threshold globally. Like 1870 or 1850 was at 0.53, and then it went all the way to 0.71 in 2002. Man, was the world overall income inequality, and it just keeps, it kind of fluctuates. And like I said, it's hard to find a company that does this now that's not having an agenda, because a lot of these what are they, like the statistician, like, okay, you've got like the Wall Street Journal, right? Okay, obviously they're owned by like billionaires, so like they're putting out shit going, oh, it's coming down, it's getting way better. Clearly it's not. Like you could just look and see that it's definitely not. So it's hard to find. The closest number that I think I've seen, or what I believe to be accurate, is we're at like that 0.4. It's like 0.48, 0.49. We're like right in between that.
Wait, so it's not an independent group of statisticians that come up with this number?
No, because this is a math formula, so anyone can do it. So it's like there's like companies use it, like everybody can use this math problem to figure it out. And so it's like there is not one group that you could definitely say, oh, they don't have an agenda to like put this out. You know what I'm saying?
But then couldn't independent statisticians look at it and say your numbers are skewed and they're weird?
Yeah, there's some people I've seen when I've looked into this, like on social media. There's some people that are quote unquote, they claim to be statisticians, and they're saying that we're actually like, some of them are saying that we're way higher than that now, and some of them are saying we're lower than what that number is. So
it's like the data set that people look at could sway. I mean, if you were in fact the Wall Street Journal, you could say, oh yeah, we're fine.
Yeah, everything's good. It's totally equal. It's becoming way more equal.
So it's not like the fucking doomsday clock where everybody's like kind of cooperating. Yeah. Like, oh no, we're fucked.
Right. It's definitely not like that. Yeah. It is like the opposite of that. This is like the scientific opposite of the doomsday clock, because anyone can skew the number to say however you fucking want it to be.
Yeah.
And so that's where again, we talked about fake news in the last episode, but like it kind of rolls into this one in the same way, because there's a lot of people that like to use this and say, to prove their point, saying either, oh, we're totally fine. All these billionaires, the income inequality has never been better in the United States. It's been at the lowest it's ever been, and we have all these billionaires or whatever, right? And then there's people that use that to do the formula and say, oh no, look at this, it's the worst it's ever been. Now that's what gets me to the fake news part, is because you get dumb shits that, like, I fully admit I have no idea what any of this math says. So you get a dumb shit like me, let's say, who sees somebody say it and then goes, oh god damn it, I could, if I knew the math, if I knew how to math this, I could independently try to verify it, right? There's no way. This is so complicated. The average jackoff is not going to be able to fucking verify this at all, either way. So most people that are commenting on this are just taking someone else's word for it, right? Because there's no way that I can sit here and do this math and plug in the numbers, because you saw all that fucking math. There's no fucking way. I can barely add and subtract, let alone use Greek letters in fucking math. But get the fuck out of here. So dumb shits like look at it and go, yeah, you know what? It's all good. Yeehaw, we're good. Inequality has never been worse. All these billionaires. I could be a billionaire one day. I don't want to tax billionaires because I might be one day. Because it's equal. We're more equal than everything. Okay, cool. That is one way to look at it, but you're just taking someone else's word for it, essentially, because you just can't independently verify if this shit is true or not. And if the averages or whatever are to be believed, I would be very curious to see, since we seem to be kind of like climbing up the scale, I'd be curious to know at what point we get to French Revolution style. Is it 0.52? Do we have a little more tolerance? Does McDonald's and TikTok? Well, shit, TikTok's going away in a couple of days, so that won't be around to satiate us anymore. To keep us fucking distracted. So I don't know. Does the threshold become a little lower when we start fucking about? I don't know. It's just interesting to see that, and I just thought that this was a very interesting concept that someone basically 100 years ago was like, you know what?
Because he didn't have TikTok. Because he didn't have TikTok, he's like, shit, I gotta wait 100 years for this shit.
Fuck, man,
might as well fucking make my own mathematical formula.
Yeah, that's how he fucking entertained himself. He couldn't scroll on the toilet. He's sitting there writing on fucking toilet paper, fucking these math problems out, and he's like, that's it. He's writing it on the wall and shit. Hell, that's why they made the fucking atom bomb, was because they didn't have TikTok. I guarantee you, if they had TikTok, that shit would have never happened. All right, never would have went down. And honestly, at this point, because of this, and like, I'm almost in favor of TikTok just getting banned. I'm almost like, yeah, fuck it, let's just get rid of it. I mean, maybe it needs to go away, but
oh shit, no, maybe we need it because then we don't have something worse coming out than nuclear.
True. Yeah, that's true.
Nuclear bombs.
Actually, right, yeah. Actually, you're right. We do. You know that meme, you've lived to see man-made horrors beyond your comprehension? Like, that's what happens when TikTok gets banned.
Yeah. Somebody's gonna create worse weapons, dude. It's just gonna be satellites from space that just
shoot lasers, and fucking kill you.
Yeah. With zero margin for error, dude.
Yeah, zero margin for error. Anyways, so yeah, I thought this was interesting, and just something cool for someone. If you want to look up more about it, you could just go to the fucking Wikipedia page and just fucking look at it.
Yeah, and then spew out your own bullshit and get an echo chamber going.
Yeah, sure, if you want. So, anyways, that was pretty much it. I just want to talk about this for a few minutes. Do you have anything else to add about this?
No, I can't believe statisticians go out of their ways to make formulas like this. I wonder if there's a formula that would determine the end of the world. And they're like, oh, there I have it, lads. Like,
well, shit, we figured it out.
Yeah. Now let's let's move on to the next thing. And
but then if you have the math problem that shows you when the end of the world's going to be, what's the point of doing anything else after that? Like, what the end date's going to be? Like, if it's soon, who cares, right? Just, no, we don't need to do nothing else. Sure, if it's in like 1,000 years, cool. Let's figure out a math problem to figure out how to extend that date out.
See, why you got to be an asshole and do something like that? Instead, create, a system to game fucking blackjack or poker. Like, why didn't this asshole do that?
Yeah, he could have been a multi-billionaire just going to fucking playing cards at the saloon.
Tell me how to pick Super Bowl winners without any data, or like, or going into a season just full. Tell me who's going to win the season without having to do the homework.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be cool. But and listen, I'm sure there are some degenerate statisticians out there that fucking have their own formulas, but that shit's proprietary and they don't want anybody to know, because then you don't want shit.
They're all in Vegas, dude. They're all because they're probably the ones that set the betting odds. Like,
because the casino's paying them the big bucks to fucking be like, hey, you set these odds so we don't got to pay out.
Man, if only there was a place in the middle of the desert where you can fuck all the hookers you want and gamble all your money away.
Drink all the liquor you could possibly consume.
And the house always wins.
Yeah.
Where would a place like that exist for statisticians?
God damn. The Indian casino's probably pretty good too.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
Damn.
Yeah.
We fucked up. We should have gotten the casino business.
I don't have anything more.
Yeah. All right. Well, go to Game Rage Magazine on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Game Rage Mag, Twitter/X. Follow Adam at All Gas No Trash Official on Instagram. And you can go follow him also on YouTube there, All Gas No Trash Official. Substack.com/at All Gas No Trash Official. Check out his wonderful and well-written article. And we'll catch you guys on the next one.